What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Friday, November 8th, 2024. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a sports reporter based out of Minnesota here, a freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota, also in sales and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me today. Her name is Shameika Rhymes. She is someone who is a on-air and media personality for blackdoctor.org. She is also a ETSU grad, which is East Tennessee State University. So we're going to talk to her about her why, get to know her a little bit outside of her occupation. Without any further ado, I introduce to you the wonderful, talented, and beautiful Shameika Rhymes.
Hi,
Hello there. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. It's wonderful to see your face. You look absolutely lovely today. Just want to
Uh,
start off.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you face to face.
Absolutely, no doubt. I just want to say thank you for allocating your time to me on my podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. How's your week been going so far?
Busy. I feel like I'm like once I go to bed, I will be knocked out.
Feel that. That's a peaceful sleep right there. That's a peaceful
Right.
sleep, no doubt. Let me reiterate to you real quick why I
Okay.
wanted to have you on here.
Okay.
So I know you're an on-air media personality for blackdoctor.org right now. You also have experience hosting, producing, and various other roles as well. I'm a reporter myself. I'm freelance as well, but
Mhm.
I've worked in different publications as well, covering different sports. I think it's great for when we get on here to talk about your why. It's a rarity that we get to sit down and have these conversations because we're always talking about different stories, always doing different stories,
Yeah.
but nobody gets a chance to really talk about their story as
Mhm.
us as reporters. So I wanted to easily reach out to you and hear your journey and hear your story. From the days that um from way back when, from when we first started. And that's why a great segue of what I wanted to do was to ask you this first question was, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models, inspirations growing up? Did you did this fall into your lap? Because I've heard that over the times of me interviewing people on here as well. Or is this something you always wanted to do? Let me know, what is your why of getting into the journalism industry?
Ooh, that's a big one. I've always known that I wanted to be either television or radio. So as a kid, I was constantly um, interviewing my sister, getting on her nerves. But okay, I'm Gen X, so it was old school of press play and record on the
I
the
feel
boom
it.
box,
Right, right, right.
right, to record the interviews. But I watched a lot of, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I watched Oprah, I watched this one, I watched that one. For me, it was Soul Train, honestly.
Don Cornelius, huh?
Don
Okay.
Cornelius. Yes.
Okay.
So I
Got you.
I was just so in love with that show. Like I watched it every single Saturday. And my goal was, okay, I want to do that. I want to introduce these music artists. I want to be the one in doing that quick interview. Clearly life didn't happen that way. But and honestly, I didn't even know like when I went to college, I was like, well, this is what I want to do. I want to be on TV. So what do I major in? I had no idea. So ended up majoring in communications with a concentration in broadcasting, television and radio and film. So
Okay.
that really lit the fire then because at that point it was like, okay, entertainment is more my flow. But after college, well, actually during college, my first job was television news.
Okay.
So I was still unclear as to my why. I don't think,
Mhm.
honestly, I did not figure out my why until maybe a few years ago, I think.
Okay, okay,
Um,
that's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
yeah, yeah. So the whole reason I brought up Soul Train is because it really was full circle. I had started a blog, had been blogging, had written for a couple people that had blogs just to try my hand at other things other than dating stories. And so what happened was I was writing, doing a blog for Creative Loafing Charlotte. It no longer exists, but
Okay,
the editor at the time, I was like, Carlton, let me interview somebody. Let me just do one article and I have the perfect person. And he was like, what you got? I was like, there's only one Jackson family member out of all the infamous Jacksons that is a rapper. I was like, let me interview him.
oh, not him. Oh Lord.
Yeah, deals. Yeah. Well, Siggy. So at that time, he was like, yeah. So, and it was cool because I mean, it was a great way for me to segue into, well, one, having a portfolio because I only had was my blogs and my TV news stuff,
Right.
and the few things I had done at a newspaper where I was a weekend reporter, mostly writing some feature stuff, but mostly crime updates. And so I saw soultrain.com. The website was still around, even though the show had been gone for quite a while.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take my little music clip from Siggy Jackson, and I'm gonna take a couple of blogs, and I'm gonna just shoot my shot. I want to
Okay.
write for y'all, and so I
Okay.
did. And that during that time is really when I found my why. It was the best training ground for me because
Mhm.
literally my first event was the BET Hip Hop Awards, and and
Hey,
that name Soul Train opened doors and helped me um, learn how to work a red carpet, learn how to actually do interviews. Because sitting in a newsroom as a producer, you're not interviewing anybody. You're doing all the writing and creating the show. So for
absolutely.
me, it was like as I kind of found my like flow of things, I found that I really, really loved finding those artists that I grew up listening to, that I grew up watching on Soul Train, even though that it wasn't a requirement that they were on Soul Train, that just became my signature of finding those where are they now type of people. And so
Absolutely.
yeah, so that was really a cool thing. And I was like, my why at that point was it's no longer about I just want to be on TV. I just want to, be hosting some show. Now it has turned into my why is I want to share their stories because when they were in their heyday, a lot of them we didn't have the internet. We had just you catch them on TV, you catch them in Jet Magazine or Ebony. That's it. So it was really about sharing their stories and getting to know them so that their legacies didn't get lost. So that's where that part of that why started, but over the years it has evolved.
Sure, absolutely. You took it back when you said Jet Magazine. I remember Jet Magazine now. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
You went to East Tennessee State
Yes.
University, and then later on you went to the University of Memphis to get your master's, which congrats to you on both of that, no doubt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk to me about could any other school could have persuaded you from going to ETSU or going to the University of Memphis?
Oh, geez. So honestly, I only applied to three schools.
Okay.
Um, East Tennessee State, Georgia Southern, and University of North Carolina at Asheville.
Okay.
And East Tennessee, I felt like was home because my uncle at the time was coaching basketball there, and I'd been to all the basketball games, all the things. Even my first one of my first like big stories that I got was because I
Mhm.
asked my uncle like, "Hey, I'm on the school newspaper. Can I interview the basketball players because they would come, for the Southern Conference and all that stuff." So
Sure.
that was
Absolutely.
huge. So I was like, "Okay, I feel comfortable around them." So everybody must be like that, right?
Sure.
At
You would
ECSU.
think you
So
would definitely think so. That's for sure.
yeah, that's not how you pick a college, but
Right. Right.
but it is what led me to go there. And then when I went, even just for the college tours, it
Mhm.
just they had a whole studio and like just the setup, just the personalized attention that the students would get because the classes weren't very big. I was
Right.
like, this is where I need to be. So that's kind
Okay.
of why I ended up there. Granted, I did try to leave after my freshman year and
Oh.
transfer to University of South Carolina because I think I thought maybe I missed the mark because well part of me was pissy that they didn't put me on the school news, the TV news, campus news.
Oh, so they
So
left you out.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I was like, I'm good. And they did not, nope, sure didn't. So I was mad. So I drug my parents down to South Carolina, like, let's go here. And then when I got there, I was like, it's not the same feeling. The
Right.
classes are larger. They don't have a shuttle bus to take me from the dorm to class, and I'm not doing all that walking. It was just a lot, and it was hot. So I was like,
I'm
let me,
about to say, yeah, South
yeah,
Carolina get hot now. They
yeah.
do.
So I said, let me go on back up here to these Tennessee mountains. So I'm glad that I stuck it out there because they allowed and inspired creativity. And like I was able to have a radio show. I was able to have a TV show and be creative with it as a practicum so we could get credit for it. It was,
Sure.
you see all these judge shows out now, and my friend and I were laughing like we were doing some of that because it was called date court. We were doing that back in the 90s. Like, it was um insane. So we were able to do that and put other black students on camera, and it was a fun time. So I think
Love
I
that.
made the right choice with that. Tried to get my master's at ETSU after I'd left, did some work in the real world, but I wasn't focused enough, I think, and running
Mm.
behind a man kind of
That's
kind
a
of
whole
threw.
nother podcast right
That's a
there, right?
whole nother story. So
I know that's right.
I wasn't ready for grad school. So I didn't honestly go to grad school till years later. And
Mhm.
at that time I was working full time in TV news. And actually I got turned down for a few schools that I did apply to, but University of Memphis, I was like, you know what, keep it in the Tennessee family. Plus they were giving me in-state tuition, even though I was in North Carolina. So I was like, sold.
You ain't lying about that. No, money would definitely talk as loud.
Hmm.
There's no question
Right.
about that.
Right.
I totally, totally love that. Shamika is how you say your name, right? Just
Yes.
want to make sure. Okay, so
Yes.
Shamika, I want to ask you some favorite questions, and
Okay.
you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Are you with
Oh.
me?
Okay. Yes, I'm with you.
All right, let's rock with it. Favorite meal you like to cook?
So, of course, I have an explanation. Before I had to go gluten free, dairy free, I be cooking as a whole. I would probably say I don't know because I don't do a lot of cooking now unless it's in the air fryer.
Oh,
This is
okay.
this is throwing me off because I don't even know. Okay, my favorite meal. I got it before I had to
Talk
go
to me.
gluten free, dairy free. So it's not really cooking, but it's close enough. The frozen bear chicken, the spicy chicken
Mm,
tenders, or the nuggets. If you put them in
okay.
the air fryer, they taste just
Okay.
like Chick-fil-A. So I would take that, put it in a salad, and whew.
Okay,
Yeah.
Tamika. You know, if I pull up to Charlotte, North Carolina, I might have to come see you now.
Yeah, man, you
I'm
gotta
trying to
drizzle
tell
it
you.
with some honey mustard or well, or however how much you want to put on there. But that it will save money instead of
Okay,
going to Chick-fil-A.
I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you on that. I went to college out in Atlanta, Georgia, so I definitely know about Chick-fil-A and all
Yeah,
that. So no question. Okay, I'm with you. I'm a tacos person myself
me
because
too. Oh, I forgot about that. I do love making tacos.
yes, I can do that. I can whip up taco chicken really good. I'm not much of a cook, much more of a griller, but brothers gotta eat. So I'm willing
Right.
to do whatever I gotta do.
Yeah.
Um, Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Favorite concert. I would have to say, oh gosh, if I could only pick one, I would say Prince. When Prince came to Charlotte in 2000, I think 11. I want to say 2011. I can't remember the name of the tour, but that tour was amazing. And we had great seats that we stole. It was so good. It was so good.
You already told me with Prince. I'm in Minnesota, so I went and saw Paisley Park. So I know what
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Right now, my favorite place would be Oahu in Hawaii.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I would definitely say the Bahamas for me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes, yes. Just recently went on a cruise, so I got a chance to go to the Bahamas for the first time. Beautiful water. I've never seen water that clear in my life, so it was pretty cool. It was
Oh,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Absolutely. So, all right, that's what's up. I'm a sports reporter, so you know I got to throw in a sports question.
Uh-oh.
Favorite, favorite sport you like to watch on TV? Favorite sport you like to attend in person? They could be the same sport.
Well, I'm a little partial because I am heavily in the cheerleading world, and so cheerleading is a sport, and that was one of my part of um my college work of because I my master's in sports management. So I'm gonna
Mm.
say cheerleading. That's one of my favorites to watch. And when I if I go if you take me to a sporting event, I'm not watching everybody else. I'm watching the cheerleaders or the dance team. That's keeping it real.
Oh my goodness, you saying the hell with everybody else? Put the dancers on the floor. I know
Right,
that's
because I'm
right.
like, I want to see, and maybe because I'm a judge, I'm a cheer judge, so it's like I'm being extra critiquey.
Okay. Now listen, I respect the real. I do. I respect it, and I am not going to disrespect any cheerleader out there. And I've already made that mistake in high school. When I was in high school, story before I get to the last favorite, I was playing basketball, football, baseball, just the common sports. We had an off day. Coach gave us an off day, which was great. They said I went over to the cheerleading practice, and they was like, "Well, you should come to a cheerleading practice." I'm like, "Y'all don't really work hard. Y'all don't do. I mean, y'all don't be doing nothing." And
Ooh,
I was like, and one of my friends said that, but I agreed. I agreed with him, and I was like, "Yeah, man, y'all don't really work that hard."
no,
And I was like, after the chair workout, I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, man. Put a ball in my hand, and we good.
right.
I don't want to do nothing else. I don't want to do no more of this stuff. I don't want to do that. Y'all work extremely hard, so I'm not going to disrespect you. That's for sure. I
Yeah.
learned my lesson that day."
I'm glad.
Last of the favorites. Favorite restaurant that you like to eat at. Now I know Charlotte is Buzz City, Queen City. I know it's down there, and they do got some good establishments. And I've been down there a couple times, just predominantly to watch the Panthers play.
Hmm.
But give me some restaurants there that look good or taste good, I should say.
So we ate at one from the it was right before the Usher concert a couple weeks ago. STK Steakhouse. It
Ooh,
is
yeah.
It's really good. It's expensive, but it's really good. The drinks are amazing. The If you go during the social hour, that's when you can kind of try a variety of things for a cheaper price.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that now. I like to take a little nuggets with me now. That's a nugget. I definitely will do that. I'm definitely familiar with the STK Steakhouse, but never tried it in Charlotte. I mean, I'm sure different people cook different things different ways.
Yeah,
Yes, definitely
yeah,
will do that next time I'm down there for sure. And
yeah.
if you are in that area, I will definitely hit you up and say hello.
Yes, I also like I think they just changed the name of it again, but Fifth and Church. It is in Uptown Charlotte. They have an amazing brunch.
Mm,
Yeah, and they have a flute of mimosas. So you don't get just one, you get a few. And then if you can walk out, then good for you. But I mean, because it
mm.
one will get you right
Okay.
out of that flight. It will get you right.
I think I know what you're talking about because they normally bring out like five. I think if I'm not mistaken, they bring out like five different ones.
Yeah.
And they'll have you try it. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
but
Yeah.
you would think like it would be like a smaller, but no, it's a regular like
Hmm.
yeah. So that's good, and the food is really good. The atmosphere there is really good. But my usual go to, because since I've gone gluten free, dairy free, and because I'm pretty much I know that they have the gluten free menu is Bonefish Grill, and so I'm there. Me and my friend were like two old ladies. We go there every week.
that. I like that. Bonefish Grill. You know what? I know about that place, but I've never went there. Never been
Oh,
inside.
it's so good.
So,
And they have $7 drinks all day because North Carolina doesn't have, you can't have happy hour. So you just got to
mm.
catch these drink specials whenever, but Bonefish does offer it day.
Now I'm a huge Hennessy person. That's me. I love my Hennessy. I love my VSOP.
Mhm.
Uh, I love my, when I go dark, and then when I go light, I do like my Grey Goose. I like my Grey Goose quite a bit. I am a wine person, but
Mhm.
not really white wine. That's not me. I'm more a Cabernet. That's me
Okay.
for
Okay.
sure. Okay, I'm with you on that. That's pretty good answers. I was also intrigued to talk about this, and this is your day to day. Obviously, doing a little bit of reading and research. I've never heard of the site blackdoctor.org. I've never heard of that prior to me, connecting with you. I would love to know, what do you do for as far as your day to day goes? Like, how do you come up with stories? How many stories do you come up with a day? What is your timeline like, Monday through Friday? Just pretty much working.
Let's see. So I do have a day job where I'm a communications manager at a nonprofit. So outside of that,
Awesome. Awesome.
I do a lot. I'm not as much as I did before with freelance writing. So I do still do maybe a couple outlets. I'll do some writing here and there when I feel like it, because I just, after 10 plus years of being a freelance writer, I just, one, it was like the pay ain't gonna change and I'm tired. So I
Feel that.
switched gears. I
Feel
switched
that.
gears during the pan or right before the pandemic. And you can see my pillow back here, check the rhymes. So that's when I started my YouTube channel to really try to get a feel of, can I take what I've done at um Soul Train and Ebony, Jet, and all the places I've written, especially Parade Magazine, which was, I was more of a health wellness writer there. So take
Okay.
all those and what could I do with all that experience? So the Check the Rhymes, it became more of, okay, I'm still doing a lot of, the only music interviews I do there is going to be my old school artists, those legends, and then throw in some pop culture. Well, I started to think, because I was going through my own health things, started pitching stories about that. Saw, oh, okay, people are actually reading this stuff. So I thought, well, I don't know if I want to do this or that. So I think 2022, I had surgery, and I remember thinking, like, there's got to be other women that are experiencing the same thing, fibroids and like all the things that come with that. It does a lot to your body, your mental health, all those things. And so I told my friend, I was like, we should do a podcast based on women's health. So we did. And then as I kept thinking about it, I was like, I still want to do like something else, right? I still want to do something else. I want to be on a bigger platform. So during this whole time, I know I'm giving you the roundabout answer. During this whole
You're
time,
good. You're
I
good.
had been getting my live skills up by doing TMZ live, um, whenever they asked, or then I was on the Grio with Mark Lamont Hill a few times because it was like
Oh,
go
okay.
from
Gotcha.
TMZ where it's like you may get a minute, minute and a half, if that, to a whole 45-minute show with Mark Lamont Hill. Because I'm thinking, oh, I'm just on here his show for one little segment. Oh, wait, we're doing the whole thing?
Wow.
It's
Okay.
like, yeah.
That's a
So
big difference now. Big
yeah.
difference.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
it's so once I was like, okay, I'm comfortable doing that, it was like I saw I've never really heard of blackdoctor.org either at that time. And so
Right.
this was earlier this year. And then I was looking on LinkedIn because I'm always looking for jobs on there. And I found that they were looking for a media personality. So I thought, I don't have my reel up to date, but I'm gonna just apply anyway. So I kept
Right.
putting it off, thinking I should reach out to the person that posted the whole job description, and in pure, because I'm just so busy trying to book Check the Rhymes Ladies Edition podcast, my podcast, and then turn in writing assignments and stuff. I was like, I just hadn't gotten to it. And then I get a message from one of the editors over at blackdoctor.org, and she says, I'm looking for on air talent. And I was like, oh yeah, I just applied. And she was like, I don't know who posted that job, but I haven't seen it. So it was like a whole like she's like, but I've been seeing your videos on YouTube, and I think that you would do well with the show on blackdoctor.org. So fast forward to what I do for them. I host a show called Celebration with Shameika Rhymes, which is my lifestyle show that is it is health, it is wellness, it's lifestyle, it's a little bit of if you basically take Check the Rhymes and mash it with Ladies Edition with a little bit of everything else, it basically is what Celebration is.
I
And
love it.
so I host that for them weekly every Wednesday. So I spend a lot of time booking and chasing down. Like I'll just think of something like, for example, Tracy Spencer. I'm like,
Okay.
what's she doing? What's she doing? So it took a lot, but I mean, it took a few weeks to get that scheduled. So it's like I try to book my shows out as far as I can, maybe three
Absolutely.
weeks, a month. So dealing with publicists takes up a lot of time, prepping that show, prepping the questions, all those things. So along with that, I also fill in and host panels. We've got a cancer summit coming up next week. This past week, we had a diabetes awareness panel. We were
That's awesome.
I was supposed to do one on Alzheimer's, but it's a live, all of it's live. So it's been really fun to interact with the audience while doing these shows because, they get to ask the questions that if they have a question from a doctor or whoever is on the show, it's like they get somebody to answer their question that they may not have the money to go out somewhere to a doctor or the copay or whatever, but they can ask. I mean, they're not always going to give you medical advice, but they'll kind of give you here's what you can
Roundabout.
do. Yeah. So I think for me, Black Doctor has been helpful along with helping with that why of remember I was telling you it evolved. So the why now is more because celebration is really the show that's supposed to feed their soul, feed the
Mm.
curiosity, feed like just help them be free and be themselves and learn how to be their most authentic self. And so we have a lot of fun on that show, and then I try to bring that in the
Love
other shows, but sometimes it doesn't translate. But but the why has really become finding something that will help somebody, even if it just makes them smile or even if it makes them even think about like, maybe I should reach out to a therapist or maybe I should book this doctor's appointment or whatever it is. So I'm just always kind of on the lookout for topics and trying to book people, whatever. So that's pretty much what takes up a lot of time.
That does,
Yeah.
especially if you, because I know you mentioned earlier that mainly the guests that you put on there are old school artists. When you said Tracy Spencer, definitely old school. Who doesn't like some Tracy Spencer? I'm sure
Yeah.
that some other wonderful artists that you put on there, but it does take some time, no question about it, because people have
Yeah.
all kinds of craziness with their schedules,
Hmm.
and you're not even dealing with them directly. You're dealing with their publicists or dealing with them to get to them. So I
Yeah.
totally understand that. I would love to hear more about your podcast. I didn't know that you had a podcast as well. What was the
Oh, yeah.
thought process of getting a podcast, and who do you do it with, and what do you normally talk about on your podcast?
Okay. So are you wanting to talk about Check the Rhymes or Ladies Edition?
Both
Both of
of
them?
them,
All right.
absolutely, yeah. Because
Okay.
I want to
Yeah.
know like about them, and I want to know like how often do they air? How
Okay.
often? How long do they normally go? What are you talking about?
So Check the Rhymes. So that one kicked off in 2020.
Okay.
And really, I had the time to, because we were in the house. So I had the time to nurture it and really get into that flow and I relied on a lot of those connects that I'd made at Soul Train, Ebony, Jet, and all the other places I freelance. Because the first interview to launch that channel, and I stream it on YouTube, but I called Ananda Lewis and I was like, girl, I need you. So
Ooh,
for her to
okay.
co-sign, she had at that point, like we'd only talked on the phone for written print interviews. We never had done video. So for her to co-sign and be like, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing really helped me gain some confidence. So my tagline for Check the Rhymes is where Gen X meets pop culture because it is a fusion of old school meets some of the current things. So for example, I did an interview earlier today with the show about the show Eat, Slay, Love, which just premiered on Peacock. And so
Mm. Okay.
Eva Nivea and Tammy Rivera, they are all on that show. So it's infusing some of those like current shows, movies, and things that are out now in pop culture, and
I
then
love it.
bringing along like I don't always do the because the those interviews may be between 6-10 minutes. Now, if I do an interview with a legend or old school artist, sometimes those are 45 minutes to an hour. So I don't do those as often anymore because right now
Mm.
I'm like, come over here to Celebration on Black Doctor. That way I can stream it to both. Like, let's not try to do two
I know
separate
what you're
things.
trying to do. Yeah.
Right, right. So so yeah,
I
so
feel that.
so Check the Rhymes used to be sometimes new episodes 3-4 times a week. And so when I had the time to really do that, and so I do have a team, meaning an editor, because I don't have the time nor the patience and don't want to do it, video editing. And so
Feel
he
it.
he is quick at really turning that stuff around really fast because I do work with a satellite media company to book some of these interviews, and sometimes it's like same day it needs to be posted or published some same day. Sometimes it's like, okay, we need it by tomorrow. So yeah, so it just really has kind of ebbed and flowed. So that I think now, because I've been doing that type of schedule for so long, that once Black Doctor entered the picture, I was like, put the brakes on Check the Rhymes. And so right now I've been in the flow of pulling back some of those old interviews that I'm like, maybe a lot, because in the social media age, maybe people aren't going to watch an entire video or hour and a half of Special Generation talking about singing back up for MC Hammer or stuff like that. So I'm just now pulling out some of these nuggets from these people, and it's almost like, oh, they're just now rediscovering the channel or the show. So right now it yeah, right now Celebration streams to to both Black Doctor and Check the Rhyme. So that's what that show is. A Ladies
Okay.
Edition is a health and women's health, reproductive health podcast, and I co-host that with Shelly Cheyenne, and she is a life coach and author. And we are friends, sorority sisters. We just get on there and whatever comes out comes out. And
I
so
love that. I
we are
love
in
those
our
kind of podcasts.
yeah, we're
Okay,
in
now.
our second season. We actually recorded earlier today, and we found our white counterparts, which is so funny because they literally are us but white. We found them on TikTok.
Oh,
So
I gotta see this episode, yo.
yeah, yeah. So we only recently started posting like YouTube videos of that, but that's when this kind of comes out. We're not really on a schedule with that anymore. It used to be we were trying to do, okay, we're the first season, we were like, let's try to do something every other week. This
Yeah,
one has really just become because we ended up taking almost a 2 year break or a year break. It's kind of a as we feel like it. And
right.
I'm of
It's
the
kind of spur of the
mindset.
moment. Spur of the moment almost.
Yeah, and I'm of the
Okay.
mindset because after I spent all that time with Check the Rhymes, I'm like, as long as you're consistent, and I think people will find it when they need to. So we talk a lot about our fibroid journey. Our right now the hot topic has been menopause, because she was tired of me yelling about certain things on our podcast, and so yeah, so it's been really we have women come on that just share their stories, and it isn't always fibroids, it's endometriosis. We've had women come on and talk about medical gaslighting. We've had it all, just I mean,
I
this
love
lady
that.
earlier in
That's
today's
awesome.
episode was talking about she woke up one day and had a beard. I mean, it's just you'll have to listen
Okay.
to it. The episode comes out next week.
Okay. You damn Skippy, I'm gonna listen to that one. Beard? Okay. I'll listen to that one now.
Yeah, yeah. So we try to have fun, but yeah, and
Yeah.
sometimes we
Yeah.
do have medical experts come on, but a lot of it is just women giving them a space to share their story. And yeah, and it allowed us because felt like we were when we were going through fibroids, nobody was talking about it. And
Mm.
so I was like, well, they're not talking about it, we can.
I love that. I
Yeah,
do.
so So that's kind of what those two are. And then what's funny is though the Celebration name was created before any of those. So I had been holding that in my back pocket for years.
I really like that name, Celebration. I do
Thank
like
you.
that. Where did
Thank
that
you.
name where did that name come from? Like did it just come to you as an epiphany, or did you really like, okay, I'm gonna name my show Celebration, and then bam, okay, where did you pull from to get that name?
Honestly, I have been the artist Noelle Gordine. We were backstage at the Soul Food Festival here in Charlotte,
There you go.
backstage, and I was like, yo, I was like, Soul Train had just folded, like, Viacom had come in and snatched it. And I was like, I miss doing that, having a space to do like my old school interviews. And so him and I, we just brainstormed like text, call, phone, email, all the things for like weeks. And I just kept a running piece of paper. And I was like, I wanted to have soul because the goal was I was going to do a magazine. That was
Okay.
the original plan. My sorority sister, once I was like, I wanted to be like a soul liberation, but a celebration. And then I was like, wait. And I was like, let me mash all these together. And so
Yeah, Celebration. Okay,
yep,
gotcha.
purchased the domain, which has been collecting dust since 2017. But yeah, I had been paying for it. She had created the logos back then, so it had just been
Mhm.
sitting. And then when blackdoctor.org was like, here's the show, what you gonna name it? I was going into a panic, like, can't I just call it Check the Rhymes? Because I already have Check the Rhymes. But then I was like, no, because it's not the same. It's more health, it's more, and I was like, but it's got to be something for the soul. And I was like, wait, I already
And
have.
there you go. There we go.
Yeah,
Okay, got
yeah.
you. That's pretty awesome. That's awesome. I love that. We came to the portion of the show now to where we're going to talk about this or that. So
Okay,
this is a interactive game,
okay,
Shameika, that I do with all my guests here on the Work Hard Play Hard podcast. What I do is I throw things out and you get to choose this or that. Are you ready?
yes.
Okay, so we've been vibing all podcast long. Let's keep this thing going based upon this first question. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Which place are you picking? KFC or Popeyes?
Is neither a choice?
No,
Okay,
no,
okay, I'll
no,
pick one.
no. Oh man.
KFC. KFC. Take it that's the wrong answer.
Oh my Lord, have mercy! You came out the box swinging. I mean, you swinging at everything. Balls are going all over the place. You just swinging it back.
You sound like Marco
Okay,
My Hill. That's kind of what he was saying because he was like,
I feel you. I feel you. Okay. Here we go. Do you
okay.
like chicken wings?
It depends, but well, I could do this one. I could do this one.
Okay, here we go. It's actually barbecue. Actually, sorry, flavors. The flavors, one is barbecue or lemon pepper. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh, we
Barbecue. I like barbecue.
okay. Are you sure you like barbecue? You sure?
Yes, yes, barbecue.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Do you like your wings wet or dry?
Dry.
Oh, okay. We good. We good. We good.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Do you like
okay.
your wings bone in or boneless? Okay. Oh no, Shamika. Come on.
Boneless. Boneless.
Okay. Listen, it's okay. That's all right. We can't eat wings together. That's okay. We're going to eat another meat or something.
Right,
Chicken,
right.
ribs, pork chop, something else. That's okay. That's all right. Listen, we can't agree with everything. We can't
Okay,
have it all. Here we go. These next four have to do with music concerts you
okay,
rather attend. So now we in your ballpark. Here we go.
okay.
You swing away. Here we go. First concert. Which artist are you going to see? Brandy or Monica?
I like them both.
I know. I like them both too. But which one is 51%? Which one is 49%?
I'm gonna go with Brandy.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Okay,
I'm with you. Which artist would you rather go see? Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Kendrick for sure.
Okay, girl, you in my good graces now. We back on it, Tamika. Here we go. All right, we cooking with grease, girl. Crisco. Let's go
Okay.
with the third one. Let's do the third one. Here we go. Which artist would you rather go see? Boys the Men or New Edition?
New Edition because I've seen them 50, 11 times, but every time I go, every time
Mm-hmm.
they come to town, I'm there.
It don't even matter if Bobby's there or not. You
Right.
going to see New Edition? It don't even matter. I feel you
Right.
on that. Okay. Which artist would you rather go see in their prime? Whitney Houston or Janet Jackson?
Whitney.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Okay, that's what's up. Now, I do got to ask you another sports question. I know you told me cheerleaders, but here we go. Which sport
Okay.
would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Bowling.
Are you a good bowler?
I am on the Wii game. I
Okay.
can no, I haven't bowled in a long time. I got bad wrist from cheerleading.
These are the Wii game. Hey,
Yeah. I'm a beast
okay.
at the Wii game.
I forget. I mean, yeah, yeah. I would like to think most people are. That's cool. I'm with you on that. That's the Wii game. I love that. Which sport would you rather watch on TV if you had to choose? Had to choose, I should say.
Okay.
Football or basketball?
Huh. That's a hard one because it depends on who's playing. Basketball.
Okay, you in my good graces, girl. We good. We good. Basketball is my favorite sport too, so I like that. Okay.
Okay.
Do you like desserts?
Yes.
Okay. So four categories. I'm gonna throw out the desserts. You got to choose one of these that you'll never eat again. Okay. So here we go. The first one is cookies. The next one is candy.
Okay.
The third one is ice cream. The last one is cake. Which one are you getting rid of that you'll never eat again if you had to choose?
Okay. So it was cookies. What was it again?
Candy,
Candy.
cookies, candy, ice cream, and cake.
Ice cream can go.
I know you did say you was gluten. Yeah. Okay.
Dairy free.
That was a layup. That was a layup, and you scored. So so that was good. That was good.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Potato chips. Do you eat them?
Ugh, yes.
Why you say it like that? That ain't a bad
Yes,
thing.
I missed the chips that I was eating before I went gluten free. So
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm
yeah.
about to say. All right. I totally understand that. Okay. Here
Okay.
we go. Same format. You have to pick one that you'll never eat again. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go. First brand is going to be Lay's. The
Okay.
second brand is going to be Ruffles. The third brand is going to be Doritos. And the last brand is Pringles. Which one are you getting rid of that you'll never eat again?
Ruffles.
Oh, hell no.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Shameika, come on now. Come on, come on.
what,
The,
what's,
uh,
what I
look,
said wrong?
I'm not supposed to judge on somebody saying something, but come on now. Ruffles is the chip where you do the dip. That's the chip where you do the dip. Do you like dips?
But you can do it with Lay's or Pringles or and Doritos.
No,
You can dip them.
neither one of them got ridges.
But
She
they don't
rolled her eyes.
but the Ruffles don't taste the same as the Lay's or the Pringles. It's
Okay.
like it
Okay.
ain't got enough salt on it or something.
Let me ask you: are you a salt and vinegar person?
Yes.
Okay, that says enough. That explains everything. I don't need to ask another question. Why don't you pick the Ruffles? Okay, I
Okay.
got you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you before I get to the next one. Salt and vinegar is the second worst chip ever made. The
No.
second worst chip ever made.
What's the first?
Funyuns.
Now you done made me mad. I love Funyuns when I could eat them. Funyuns and Doritos, but I love Funyuns.
You know what? You're the first person I've had on here on this platform that said they love Funyuns. You know what? We're gonna have to stick to the meat. We can't do chicken. We're gonna do some pork, some ribs or something, some pork chops, hell, do some sides, some mashed potatoes
Yeah,
or
I was like, I don't
something
eat
like.
pork.
Oh my God, beef ribs. We're gonna do something. We're gonna do something. Maybe just do drink. How about that? We can do
Drinks.
drinks.
Okay.
That'd be perfect between you and I. That'd be great. Okay. Well, you did solid on this or that. I would say solid, no doubt
Okay.
about it.
Okay.
I love asking this next question though, to definitely people that's in the journalism field. If journalism wasn't a route that you were going to go as far as a career path, what career path would you have chosen to go and why?
There was no other option. I didn't have a backup plan. Unless I was going to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, but I didn't really have any other plans. Let me see. Let me think about this. I
Can can
might,
I,
I
can I
might
ask
have
you?
become a lawyer, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can totally see you doing that. And I would love you representing me any day of the week. I would love that. I totally would.
I mean,
Can
I'm
I
thinking
please?
about law school now, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh no, listen, I just think that you would be so great in as being an advocate for somebody, and representing somebody. I think you would be amazing. And most communicative people who are in the communicative business would do well in a
Yeah.
business like that. So, but can I please ask you, why the Dallas Cowboys of all 32 teams in the NFL? Why Dallas Cowboys?
Because I watched the Making the Team Dallas Cowboy cheerleader show, that is now on Netflix. And then I was also on the spinoff of their show back in 2007. So I just loved it. And the first cheer outfit I put on, my parents had bought me a Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders outfit when I was a kid. Like I probably was 4.
Wow. Well, God bless their heart, your parents' hearts, for buying you a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. God bless their hearts. I mean, wow. I don't know where to go from that. And I had a question. I did have a question. Okay.
Okay.
You know what? I'm back. Here we go.
Okay.
Advice, right? I want to know what kind of advice, and it's a two-part question. What kind of advice would you give someone that wants to start in this business, either through what's doing some of the same things that you do, as a writer, as an on-air personality,
Mhm.
and the second part is what kind of advice has someone gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Okay. So the first part of it, I would say what I think has helped me was even in the newsroom, I made it my business to learn every single job. Like as far as like I knew how to go out and shoot video. I
Yeah,
did know how to edit once upon a time. I just don't since I don't use it every day anymore, I don't know how to do it. but,
right.
I sat with producers, job shadow. I didn't do an internship, but I did like, I started as a production assistant. So on my days off, or I would come in early, sit with the producer, like see what they're doing, go out shadowing a reporter. And that's really how I even made my first what did they call it back then? Resume tape. But how I made my first
Mm.
demo reel really was
Demo
going
reel,
out
yeah.
with these reporters on my days off to like you're going with them to cover a story, but then they
Mm.
if you're nice enough and they like you, they'll let you record your own version of the story as well. And so that way you're learning and then you're getting hands-on experience. And I think that would be the biggest advice is find someone that's willing to show you the ropes. I mean, there are a lot of gatekeepers out here for sure. um,
Sure.
but I think that one of the biggest things that I would also recommend is being flexible because I can't tell you how many people I've met that are like, I want to be an entertainment reporter and that's it. That's all I want to do.
Right.
That's fine, but be flexible because you never know where it could take you. Like,
Right.
of course, I started with entertainment, but then I started doing some business articles. I started doing health. I started doing all these things and be able to like just be flexible because you never know where that next opportunity could lead you. And then as far as advice I got, I
Yeah,
think the
absolutely.
best advice that I got was um let me make sure I get it correct because I get it all mixed up when I'm trying to quote it correctly. Um but I mean, and everybody's heard it. If you stay ready, you don't have to
Yeah.
get ready because if you're, for example, when Black Doctor came knocking, I was
Sure.
ready.
Okay. Okay.
I was ready.
I feel it. I feel
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I love the flexible part that you said. I like to talk to my young boys out here that's in high school because that was forever ago for me. And then college wise as well. I like to
Yeah.
talk to them and let them know about, as hard as you guys play in practices with your games and your sports, because some of them are intrigued to want to be journalists. I always tell them try everything in college,
Hmm.
like you said. You learn about things, be a jack of all trades, but it's
Yep.
also important to learn things about what you're comfortable doing and what you don't want to do.
Hmm.
So it allows you to go into the path that you want to go into. I
Hmm.
love the flexibility part, and I'll even expand on that. Not only be flexible with the job, but be flexible with your area. Some people
Yeah.
don't want to move to certain places, and they are
Hmm.
just hell bent on being in these places and that places. And when you're in journalism, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, if that
Oh
makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That's something I preach a lot, especially to my young boys out here. Like, you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. They don't know what that means, but I totally understand. I totally
Yeah.
get it if they don't. But you do have to be that because you have to pick up and move to an area
Yeah.
that you're unfamiliar with and really plant your roots there. That's how you get
Mhm.
started.
Yeah.
Making those decisions and being able to make also those mistakes, in smaller markets before you get to a bigger market, right? And to be able to do that. So I
Yeah. I'm
love that
glad
about it.
you mentioned that about making mistakes, because had I not made some big mistakes, then I wouldn't have been able to learn how to even bounce back from that. And to, because
Absolutely.
I think that's huge, is if you think you messed up or you made a mistake, then you still got
Right.
to try to bounce back. And I can give an example. I think it was 2021, um, Entertainment Tonight Canada. I pitched myself to be on their live ET Canada live, and I was
Okay.
like, I'm good, I'm this, I'm that. I believed all in myself. Well, I didn't take into account then that I was run down to the ground. I was literally in the middle of iron infusions because I had no iron left in my body, and
Oh.
I was just like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Well, I also didn't do my research. That's another thing. I would do your research, but I didn't do my research like I should have. And I know nothing about Canada, really, honestly, didn't. And so I just got up there being myself, trying to bring more energy, and had no idea that me taking up for Meghan Markle was going to end up by me being dragged by my wig that I had on then through the social media streets. It's so bad. Like when I logged on the next day to like
Mhm.
watch the show, they were
Right.
still dragging me. Days
Oh
later,
wow.
they were still in my tail because I had the nerve to say that there was some racism going on, like,
Mm.
over in the UK, and
Sure.
yeah, in the palace and all that. So it made me never want to be on air ever again because it was
Sure.
so bad. Like my sister was in the comments fighting, and it took a little bit, but that moment when TMZ reached out, I was terrified, and I was like, I can't do this again. I can't get my feelings hurt. I can't, like, because with Check the Rhymes, I could control what I could control. Like I can delete
Right.
your comments, or I can put it where you can't leave comments.
Control the
But
controllables. Right.
right, but then I thought, if this is what I want to do, there's something that I've wanted to do for as long as I can remember, then I got to get back up on the horse and try again. And so those
Absolutely.
looking back, those first couple times I was on TMZ, I was shook. But then it was like, okay, I can relax. This was okay. I could do this. And so I'm so glad that I did, because had I just decided to shut it off completely forever, I wouldn't be a host at blackdoctor.org right now.
Right. You would have regretted it. Right. And
Yeah.
let's just call it what it is. You definitely would have regretted it within yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously, at that time, the decision probably felt good for you to shut it down because you went through that. But
Yeah.
when you go through things like that, when you go through adversity like that, it only hardens the character of yourself.
Oh
It
yeah.
really only
Yeah.
hardens the character. So it makes you tougher, makes you stronger, but it also makes you wiser too. You just know, okay, I could feel this way, but maybe I shouldn't express it in that way. Again, just like that. Maybe I can do it in another way or do it
Yep.
where I can control the controllable, right? So um I love that. I love that transparency that you just said. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna get you out of here on these last two questions, and this one is a top four. I want to
Okay.
know what is the top four people that you would like to interview on Celebration. right? We talk about different interviews. I would love to hear a top four from you of artists that
Okay.
you would like to have on.
Top four. Um, hmm. I don't know, because now when people reach out to me, I'm always like, you got a health problem we can talk about? Because it has to have that health and wellness angle. So I don't know who has health issues, but if I were thinking of like even if I were to say celebration or check the rhymes, I think honestly Tracy Spencer was the one I had been chasing for years. And so to finally get that interview was amazing, and to just sit and talk to her and hear her be transparent about where she's been, what she's gone through. So I think my others, don't laugh, don't laugh. But
I
I want to
promise you I won't.
I want to interview Billy Ocean. I don't know if he
I
has
said
any.
I would.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just
I said I wouldn't laugh. I
laugh.
almost broke because
Don't
I was the
laugh.
song when you said his name, the song came right into my mind.
See,
Like I was like, okay, Chris, don't do it. That's what I
right.
was
Don't
saying.
do it. See,
Okay, okay, let's go ahead.
uh, um,
Billy Ocean. Okay,
no, let's see.
might as well put Larry Graham on that list too.
I'm just trying to think.
I feel you on that.
I don't know. Of course, I would love to have one of the Jacksons come on because I'm a huge Jackson fan.
Sure,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, and I interviewed Tito a couple times on Check the Rhymes, but or maybe once on Check the Rhymes, and then other places a couple times. But um, Janet Jackson,
That'd be great. I
that would be
mean,
huge.
yeah,
Um,
we love
let's
that.
see. Um, I feel
One
like I'm
more.
supposed to say Oprah, but I don't know.
Hey, listen, if you don't dream big, it's going I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? You might as well. Yeah, let's go ahead. Put Oprah in there.
Okay. Another one, because I just have so many questions for him. Tyler Perry. I have questions.
Now that's probably a more realistic cat that you could get than Oprah, but hey, dream big. That's what I say.
Yeah, yeah. Is that
Tyler
four? Is
Perry.
that three? That was three.
Yeah, because you said you said Billy Ocean, Janet, Oprah and Tyler. So you did. You
Okay,
said
okay, okay.
yeah, this is a pretty good list. I like that. I certainly hope and pray that you definitely get at least three, if not all of those on there. I'm hoping that is. I would definitely check out the interview myself because I know you're gonna ask some interesting questions. That's for sure. No question, Shameika. I want to get you out of here on this, and that is there anything else you would like to add about your podcast, your shows, you in general, before we conclude?
Hmm. So let's see. Celebration streams every Wednesday on blackdoctor.org on their Facebook Live or YouTube Live, but I also stream it over on Check the Rhymes TV on YouTube. Let's see what else. Ladies Edition podcast you can find on all streaming platforms, and Check the Rhymes, like I said, is on YouTube, and it is a podcast, so you can catch it streaming too. I'm like, what else? I do have two magazine, well, no, technically three magazine articles that I wish I had the magazine sitting here. I didn't think about it, but so I still do a little freelance here and there. So I still write for USA Today's their
Okay.
magazine division. So one of the magazines that will be out, I think around Thanksgiving, it's called Modern Woman. So I have an article
Mm,
in there about how to deal with the holiday stress and just the mental health aspect of it all. And so that one was it's an interesting, um it has some great tips, because if you're whether you're dealing with grief, or you're dealing with divorce or separation, or loneliness, whatever, it's in that article. And so, and the other article is Go Escape Winter. And there were two articles in
okay.
there with two actresses. One is, I don't know if you watched the show Found on NBC, but Shanola Hampton, she's also AKA one of my sorors, interviewed her
Okay.
about,
Okay.
yeah, I interviewed her about growing up near Charleston, South Carolina. So she gives some of her favorite places to check out down there. And then the other one, I'm gonna mess her name up, but she's on on a show. She used to be on Raven's Home, but her first name is Kaliko. So I just can't. The last name I was tearing it up, so I ain't even gonna try it. But
That's all right. That's all right.
she talked about growing up in and what part of some part of Hawaii. I can't think of it off the top of my head. We did the interview a while ago, but Hawaii, and it was so cool because it was a small island, what like a tiny island. And like literally when I was like, what is there to do there? She was like, nothing. So we got creative. So and the pictures that I found for that article are amazing. So it is on newsstands. That one's on newsstands now, and the other one comes out later this month.
I love that. I do. Obviously, you're an amazing woman. There's no question about that. Doing a lot of different things going on with the
Thank
Check
you.
the Rhymes, the Ladies Podcast, the Celebration, the different things that you're writing about as well as you just articulated. I love that. I loved to always talk to, like I said, reporters and journalists who are passionate about what they do, and and their why. So I appreciate you coming on my podcast and breaking that down. And I hope you have a wonderful Friday night and a wonderful weekend. And you and I will definitely be in touch. There's no question about that.
All right. Thank you for having me.
No doubt. Take care.